No, you not can do. Because you not can do 1 minute.
So I think of the fight, getting dropped once again, it's not the end of the world. People get dropped in fights and still win them. Getting dropped in sparring is what it is, I mean.
Duke McKenzie unloads on Jake Paul after the sparring knockout, and the footage has taken over the internet before the fight is even announced. Social media is ruthless, turning the clip into an endless stream of jokes, memes, and criticism. What should have been routine training is now a viral moment of embarrassment for Paul, exposing vulnerabilities that fans are tearing apart. McKenzie doubles down, calling Paul a soft touch and accusing promoters of padding his path. The KO has ignited chaos online,
I'm saying he's a soft touch. He's waiting to get knocked out. So the promoter says to himself, right, he scratches his head and says, you know what, I need to get my fighter a couple of easy ones just to get his confidence back so he can bring him back to the fore, bring him back to everybody's imagination. Everybody sees him knocking somebody out, looking good doing it. So this guy's made for Anthony Joshua. It'll be another Ngannou early night for Joshua where he gets to the...
Eddie Hearn acknowledges Jake Paul's progress but doesn't overlook what the sparring footage revealed. He notes the lack of real competitiveness and how it magnifies the impact of Duke McKenzie's knockout critique. Fans are dissecting every frame, turning Paul's training struggle into a conversation about his readiness for elite opponents.
So you have to give him credit, and I'm a big fan. I don't want to. When I watched it back, I was like, I saw a few people. Oh, Eddie's a hater. I'm not a hater. I think he's the goods, but I don't think that was competitive last.
Derek Chisora pulls no punches in calling out Jake Paul's shortcomings. He argues the sparring knockout is more than a bad moment. It's a clear indicator that Paul is nowhere near prepared for top-tier fighters. His footwork, defense, and durability crumbled under pressure, and Chisora warns that a heavyweight like Anthony Joshua would expose...
I look at everybody who's got in his sparring camp. I personally don't believe that you can actually... The sparring partners he's got right now, they're pushing him to be menace.
Johnny Nelson highlights a major concern. Jake Paul's legs are already showing signs of trouble. The sparring knockout reinforces the idea that his conditioning and defense fall apart when real pressure hits. Nelson warns that against an experienced heavyweight like Joshua, these weaknesses would become glaring targets. The footage exposes Paul as severely...
And I said, look, if you're to believe that he had the best training camp, his legs have gone. And if I've got it wrong...
Shannon Briggs offers veteran insight, acknowledging that slips happen but insisting that Paul's sparring KO shines a harsh light on deeper issues. His balance, defensive reactions, and composure were all compromised. Briggs suggests the footage serves as a stark reminder of how dangerous it would be for Paul to step in with someone as seasoned and powerful as Anthony Joshua. What should have been a learning session has instead raised...
I'm hearing things that he's been dropped in the ring, in the gym and stuff like that, but that's okay too, because I took a couple spills, little slips in the ring, in the gym. That's okay, but we're going to see. This is going to be a good fight.
Derek Chisora lays out the reality bluntly. Jake Paul does not possess the punching power to trouble Anthony Joshua. The sparring KO only amplifies this concern, revealing defensive lapses and inexperience that could lead to disaster. Chisora insists this isn't exaggeration. It's an honest assessment of...
It's going to be exciting.
Does he have the power to knock out Joshua?
No, he hasn't got the power to knock out Joshua.
How does that fight end?
Jake Paul going to an ambulance, bro.
Simon Jordan calls the situation absurd, pointing to the sparring KO as a clear warning. He argues that stepping into the ring with a true heavyweight champion like Joshua is a monumental leap far beyond Paul's current abilities. Conditioning, power, and ring IQ all appear lacking. The hype is collapsing under scrutiny, and Jordan highlights how...
Financial welfare of Jake Paul going into a fight with Anthony Joshua, to me, is absurd. I mean, Anthony Joshua is a legitimate two-time heavyweight champion of the world. He may have got destroyed by Daniel Dubois, but notwithstanding there's nothing physically wrong with Anthony Joshua that he can't execute. Mentally, he might be in a little bit of a difficult position.
Duke McKenzie doesn't soften his stance. He emphasizes that while Jake Paul may see a high-paying opportunity, reality paints a far more dangerous picture. The sparring KO has exposed fundamental issues in defense, timing, and durability. Facing someone with Joshua's power and experience could become catastrophic in a matter of seconds. McKenzie stresses that this isn't about social media or spectacle. It's about survival against a world-class fighter who punishes every mistake.
He's his fight of his career. If he wants to get 100 million and not even break sweat, you take the fight. Is it going to enhance his stock as the world's #1 contender? Not at all, because nobody's going to take Jake Paul seriously. But on the other hand, should I don't even want to play devil's advocate. What if Joshua hurts this guy, seriously hurts this guy, and puts this guy...
Tommy Fury delivers a blunt breakdown. The sparring KO already revealed Jake Paul's limitations, and Fury insists those flaws would be exploited immediately by someone like Anthony Joshua. Timing, defense, and composure are nowhere near world level. Even under handicap conditions, Fury believes Joshua would dismantle Paul. The footage acts as an early expose, proving Paul struggles under real pressure. Fury warns that this fight could end in moments.
But if I can beat Jake Paul, then excuse my French, what the fuck is Anthony Joshua going to do to Jake Paul? I think my dad said that AJ could beat him with his prick, and I completely will back that up. Even if AJ had a broken arm in there, it still wouldn't go past a minute.
Eddie Hearn issues a professional warning grounded in experience. He explains that moving from influencer fame into a fight with Anthony Joshua is a monumental leap. Joshua's power, accuracy, and tactical discipline make the risk extremely high. Paul's sparring KO reveals defensive holes and lack of ring IQ that cannot be ignored. Hearn emphasizes that this isn't entertainment. It's a scenario where real danger exists, and Paul's persona won't protect him from heavyweight reality.
But I said to Jake Paul, you ain't in a box, mate, and this ain't David Blaine. I said, so just be careful, because AJ will take your head clean off your shoulders, and it's dangerous. And you take on that responsibility, and we all have to, so we've got to think about that. But this is Anthony fighting a top 50 cruiserweight in the world. It's not something that we would normally do. But we all...
Logan Paul reacts with concern, recognizing the stark difference between Jake's abilities and the level of danger posed by a fighter like Joshua. Watching Joshua stop Francis Ngannou only reinforced the reality of what Jake would face. The sparring KO further proves that Jake's defense and resilience are far from adequate. Logan warns that bravado and popularity have no impact when trading punches with an elite champion. The footage is a reality check that exposes Jake's vulnerabilities clearly.
The Joshua thing is crazy.
Is that a real conversation?
Jake's a fucking lunatic, and it's probably real. I saw Joshua knock out Francis Ngannou, and the guy was like out cold for 5 minutes. And this is a guy who had never been knocked down, let alone knocked out.
If he steps in the ring with him, and actually a bell rings and there are punches thrown, every bit of Jake Paul is not a real boxer conversation is gone forever.
Derek Chisora returns with another brutally honest assessment. He argues that Jake Paul has nearly no margin for error against Anthony Joshua, and that the sparring KO shows exactly why. If the fight extends past a few rounds, it could become a showcase of how unprepared Paul is. Chisora compares the situation to Joshua's past dominant knockouts, highlighting how quickly things could unravel. This isn't about hype, it's about consequences in a real fight. The sparring footage only strengthens his warning.
So I told Anthony, I already messaged Anthony, I said, listen, I tell you what, I said to AJ, if this goes past 5 rounds, everybody's gonna be having a go at you, because you can't go past 5 rounds with this kid. It has to go past 1 round or 2 rounds. Past beyond 4 or 5 rounds, people are gonna be doubting you as a fighter himself. So he has to smoke him out like what he did Francis Ngannou in Saudi Arabia in 1 round.
Frank Warren analyzes the situation from both a promotional and professional lens. He explains that while Jake Paul is officially licensed, that does not mean he's remotely prepared for a fighter of Joshua's pedigree. The sparring KO demonstrated gaps in defense, technique, and mental resilience that Joshua would exploit immediately. Warren warns that fighters cannot rely on hype when stepping into the ring with a top-tier heavyweight. This isn't an exhibition. It's a dangerous proving ground where small mistakes turn into massive consequences.
It's a dangerous fight. Of course, it's a dangerous fight. But I'm not here to be there selling their show. I've got no interest in the fighters from that perspective. I just think that he is a licensed boxer. He's trained. He knows what he's getting involved with. He's not an idiot, and he knows what he's going to be up against. But he must believe in him.
Duke McKenzie once again stresses just how dangerous this matchup is for Jake Paul. The sparring KO exposed deficiencies in Paul's timing, defense, and toughness, and McKenzie points out that Joshua's experience magnifies every one of those flaws. Paul has never faced elite heavyweights, and jumping into this level without a proper foundation is reckless. McKenzie's message is simple and direct. Social media success does not translate to survival in the ring against someone with Joshua's skill and power.
To fight Anthony Joshua, it's not like he's beaten 4 or 5, top line heavyweights, other heavyweights. I don't believe he's boxed any heavyweights.
The sparring KO exposed Jake Paul long before any potential fight with Anthony Joshua. His timing, defense, and ring IQ crumbled under controlled conditions, raising genuine concern about how he would handle real pressure. Analysts, promoters, and former champions all paint the same picture. This matchup is dangerously mismatched. Fans are already buzzing, turning the footage into a viral warning. This isn't hype. It's a clear message about what lies ahead. For more breakdowns, behind-the-scenes insights, and explosive fight analysis, remember to like, subscribe, and stay locked in for every knockout update.